All right, guys, I walked into that store planning to pick up only 3 discs. I walked out with 6. Of course, I'm talking about the Arrow 50% off sale at Barnes & Noble, which is still going on. And let me just say first, this is the Kazdoy Closet. I'm Kazdoy. That's my closet full of all the stuff that I love. And today, we'll look at which Arrow discs I purchased. We're talking 6 discs, 4 different genres, and the one that got away. Let's check it out. First of all the discs I bought were limited editions. Either Blu-ray or 4K. I'll tell you which ones are 4K. They all have extra features, and they have booklets and reversible artwork, which I'll show to you. Slip covers. Some have posters, and some have art cards. I'm also going to tell you where you can stream these, and if you can stream these, in case you want to check them out first, or you just want to watch them, you don't want to buy them. So let's start off with 2 Westerns, beginning with The Tin Star from 1957. This is about a veteran bounty hunter who arrives in this town paralyzed by fear because their sheriff has been killed, and now this young, inexperienced sheriff is supposed to be in charge of the town. So the veteran has to teach this young guy how to take charge and control this notorious bully. Henry Fonda plays the veteran bounty hunter, and this is on the heels of classics like The Wrong Man and 12 Angry Men. Anthony Perkins is the young sheriff he has to teach. This is only Perkins' 4th feature film, 3 years before Psycho came along. And Neville Brand plays the bad guy. I'm going to talk about him a little bit later. This was directed by Anthony Mann, who has made 44 films, including noir titles like T-Man, Raw Deal, and He Walked by Night, and westerns like Winchester 73 and The Furies. So here's the reversible artwork here. Old-fashioned poster. And I don't see The Tin Star currently streaming anywhere. The second western that I bought is The Shootist from 1976. This is about a dying gunfighter who's trying to spend the last 2 months of his life dying peacefully, but his reputation poses some problems. Kind of reminiscent of the Gregory Peck film, The Gunfighter. John Wayne plays the gunfighter. This is his last film. He made 184 films, and he died of cancer 3 years later. So I believe that he had a cancer diagnosis while he was making this film. So a lot of gravitas involved in this role. He's an aging gunfighter, and here he is, the last film he made after many, many westerns he made. And he's dying of cancer in the film. He's ill when he made this film. So there's a lot going on here. The cast is pretty incredible. Lauren Bacall, James Stewart. This is one of his last films. I think he did this as a favor to John Wayne. Ron Howard, very young at the time, and John Carradine. So pretty amazing cast, directed by the great Don Siegel, who made films such as Riot in Cell Block 11, the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Dirty Harry, among many others. Here's the other artwork involved here, which I believe that was the poster when the film came out. And this is streaming right now on Pluto TV. I'm not familiar with it, but that's where it's streaming. Let's switch genres now because we picked up a gangster film, The Scarface Mob from 1959. This is about U.S. Treasury agent Elliot Ness, who assembles a team of agents to take down notorious gangster Al Scarface Capone and in Chicago during Prohibition. This was originally televised as a 2-part TV pilot and then later combined as a movie. I had never heard of this movie at all. The subsequent TV series, The Untouchables, ran on TV from 1959 to 1963. I have a vague memory of that. I was still kind of young to watch something like that growing up. Later, of course, the Untouchables film made by Brian De Palma in 1987. Robert Stack stars here as Elliot Ness. He also stars as Elliot Ness in the series The Untouchables. And Neville Brand stars as Al Capone. I've mentioned him before. He's also in the Tin Star I mentioned earlier. I mentioned him on this channel before. He's one of my favorite character actors. As growing up, I'd always see him and I'd think, there's that guy again. Who is that guy? Well, now I know it's Neville Brand, and he's just always solid. He was also in Riot in Cell Block 11, The Turning Point, the 1952 film, Kansas City Confidential, and DOA, the original 1949 version of that. So a lot of westerns, a lot of noir. Directed by Phil Carlson, speaking of noir, who directed 99 River Street and Kansas City Confidential, and several westerns and war films. The disc includes a visual essay about Phil Carlson's career. I don't see this streaming anywhere. Here is the artwork for that. Love that old-fashioned artwork for that one. And so those were the three that I had planned on buying when I first went into Barnes & Noble. And but no, it's Arrow. It's 50% off. So I got tempted with three more. Of course, I had to pick up a horror film, so I went with The Woman from 2011. This one is in 4K. This is about this country lawyer who catches this feral woman out in the woods and brings her home to try to civilize her with hopefully the help of his family. I had never heard of The Woman. I saw it in the store, so I went home and watched about the first 30 minutes of it on Amazon Prime. I thought it looked very interesting, so I went for it, especially since Lucky McKee is the director. I remember he did an episode of Masters of Horror I really liked, and his previous film I really liked, this one back here, up here, May. That's the Second Sight edition. I really like that one. And Angela Bettis, who stars the title character in May, also is in this one playing the wife. So that was another thing that did it for me. Jack Ketchum co-wrote the screenplay with McKee. I'm not familiar with him, but apparently he's a pretty well-known kind of cult horror writer. Stephen King is among his many fans. And along with this on a second disc is another film called Offspring. And The Woman is actually a sequel to Offspring. Ketchum wrote Offspring, and I've read that it's pretty gory and pretty gruesome. That's really not my jam. I can only take so much of that. So I don't know if I'm going to really get into Offspring or not, but there it is. The Woman right now is streaming on Amazon Prime. And we're going to finish up with two action films, starting with Black Hat from 2015. This one is on 4K also. This is about this gifted hacker who's released from prison to help track down this high-level cyber crime network. Michael Mann was the director here. And from what I've read and heard about this one, people say it's maybe his worst film. That kind of turned me off. But again, I did watch the first 30 minutes of it. Liked what I saw, so went for it. Michael Mann, of course, also directed Thief and Manhunter and Heat and Collateral, among many others. And he's involved in this great series that I recommend called Tokyo Vice. And right now, Black Hat is streaming on Netflix. The second action film that I got is The Man from U.N.C.L.E. from also 2015. This one also is in 4K. And this is takes place during the Cold War in 1963. A CIA agent forms a reluctant alliance with a KGB officer to thwart a criminal organization intent on developing nuclear bombs. This is based on the TV series of the same name, which ran from 1964 to 1968, which I also watched as a kid. And this was another one. I watched the first 30 minutes on Netflix before I bought it, and I wasn't too impressed with it. But then a couple of days later, I said, let me give it another shot. And I liked it a lot more that time. I don't know why. I think I just kind of got into what they were doing, and maybe I was just in the right mood for it. Henry Cavill plays the CIA agent, and it took me a minute to figure out he's imitating Robert Vaughn, who played the main character, Napoleon Solo, on the TV series, which is kind of funny and kind of an interesting choice. Armie Hammer plays the Russian agent, and you kind of have to overlook his accent, his Russian accent in this, or else you're going to be real distracted. I think that's what happened to me the first time I saw it. Guy Ritchie is the director. He directed Snatch and Wrath of Man, among many others. And I went into more detail on this on Letterboxd, so check out my Letterboxd review of it. But they made some very smart choices making Man from U.N.C.L.E. and it looks like it was going to be a sequel to this, but like maybe a series going on, but it never really happened. This is currently streaming on Netflix. Now, I mentioned at the beginning there was one that got away. Seems like there's always one that gets away during these Arrow sales. Last time it was Witness. I ended up getting the hardbox version, Blu-ray, not 4K of Witness, because that was gone. This time around, Crimson Peak. Boy, try to find that one. It comes a beautiful box with this, I think, an 80-page hardbound book or something, and going 50% off. It was $30. Couldn't find that anywhere, not on the website, not in any stores. That thing, I gave up finally after trying it several days. It's not to be found. So I don't know why that happens with these Arrow titles. They should just make more. They're losing money. They're losing sales on this. I don't know the whole production machinations of what goes on there and all that stuff, but it seems to me they're losing sales on it. Anyways, feel free to leave a comment or suggestion down below. Have you seen any of these, or what did you pick up, or any suggestions what you think I should pick up on this Arrow sale? Even though I don't want to go back to that store, let it just be over, right? Still going on for, I think, a couple weeks. Leave a thumbs up. Don't leave a thumbs down. Subscribe would be great. Share this with your friends and neighbors. Subscribing is free. Also free, as we mentioned, we're on Letterboxd under the Kazdoy Closet. There's a link in the notes down below. That's where we leave reviews. Most recently, we watched The Watchers. Wow, that's a bad one. And The Man from U.N.C.L.E. So what's not free is my ebook is now available, True Tales from the Teacher Trenches, the ups and downs of 32 years of teaching high school English. And that's available on Amazon.com, not through the app. It's for your Kindle device, or if you don't have a Kindle, you can use the Kindle app on the device of your choice. And it's going to set you back a whole $1.99. So hope you like that. Hope you like this episode. Thanks for watching. See you next time.